Rita Moreno, Chuck Mangione, Maynard Ferguson. I've worked with some pretty great musical talents on the DCI Championship telecast over the years. One we've never properly spotlighted is Rob McConnell. We worked together on that chilly '82 telecast from Montreal. Rob is a Canadian treasure. Blue Devils were playing one of his charts that year. Rob McConnell is a great composer, arranger, trombone player, and he fronted a great band.
I thought, well, we'll have a band with all brass and rhythm section, like a kind of, not really a jazz band, just a contemporary, but a big band that I could write for. We'll call it the Boss Brass.
Rob McConnell made music with his bands from the late 60s into the 90s. These guys could play, and those McConnell charts were special. Rob won 3 Grammys and is in the Canadian Music Hall of Fame. His album with Singers Unlimited is a jazz classic. Bluecoats arranger Doug Thrower played with McConnell during college in Toronto.
He was very nice. I mean, he was great to us as students. He was always very gracious with his audience. I have a great, after our first rehearsal with him, he was like, okay, fellas, beers on me, which always sounds like a great idea after a rehearsal, doesn't matter who it is.
Pretty cool for a guy who was at the top of his game and would become a national treasure.
He was, and still is, highly regarded as a jazz musician and a band leader. He actually won the Order of Canada.
That was Canada's highest civilian honor. Rob McConnell was a big deal. Now, we didn't do an '81 Montreal broadcast due to customs complications. Rob was the perfect choice for '82. He was as chill as the weather.
Good evening, everybody. I'm Steve Ronanero, and joining me tonight, color commentator Rob McConnell.
But Rob was excited to get his first taste of DCI drum corps, and he was blown away as the night went on. Then here comes the Blue Devils, playing his chart, T.O.
The Blue Devils from Concord, California. They won the prelims. They're going on next to last, though. We'll explain that in a bit, but they want this title tonight. The name of this chart is T.O., which the man to my right wrote, Rob McConnell.
Well, thanks, Steve.
He was rather aghast when he heard 60-some horns playing it the other day. Oh, I was delighted.
BD blew the house down, taking the title with what was then a record-high score. It was pretty exciting down on the field during retreat, even for the understated Rob McConnell, as we wrapped it all up.
It was a pleasure watching the show and working with you up there, because I really enjoyed your sincere, wide-eyed enjoyment and amazement at what you saw.
I'm a real debutante. I enjoyed it thoroughly. I hope that came across. Steve, thank you for all your help. Without you, I would have been even dumber than I was. So
you certainly must be happy that the corps that won everything tonight played one of your charts.
All right. I mean, that's a double treat for me. The Blue Devils played a song of mine and another song of a good friend of mine, so I'm as pleased for myself as for them. It's great and a big win.
With that, our lone Canadian DCI Championship broadcast was in the books, as chronicled by one of Canada's premier musicians.
He's a hero, especially to arrangers.